Well, hello everyone. My name's Todd Pringnitz with White Knuckle Productions, and I'm here with Jacob, the man from QAD, and we're going to talk about their broadheads today, the Exodus heads. I was just telling these guys, I started shooting these heads 2 years ago, and now I'm up to like 7 or 8 different animals with them. And it was actually an accident how I started using them. I bought a pack for my wife because she was just getting to get into bow hunting, and I knew she needed a little bit smaller cutting diameter than the big mechanicals I've always shot. So I shot one, and then I shot another one, then I shot a doe, then I shot another doe. The product quality is absolutely insane. The blood trails that these things produce, and I'm a mechanical guy. I shot mechanical for probably 15 years, probably a half dozen different brands, and some of the guys who know me knew I was a mechanical fanatic. But I had some bad experience with some of these big bucks that were shooting the penetration factor. You know, you're shooting through a 300 pounder, their chests are almost as big as an elk. So what I found, a lot of times I wasn't getting pass-throughs, and a couple different times I lost the meat on deer because coyotes got to them. We had to let them go overnight because of poor blood trails. This is the best flying, toughest, sharpest head I've ever used. And I don't know how you guys did it, but I'm glad you did, because it really changed my life from the hunting standpoint, because typically you have to give something up in the process, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about your product. What makes it so killer?
So our broadheads are made out of hardened stainless steel, and like you were mentioning about the cutting diameter there, we are kind of in the middle ground with an 1.25 inch cutting diameter, a little smaller than some of your mechanicals, but we make up for that in penetration. All of the major publications that have done testing, we almost always come out and on top in the durability and penetration of these broadheads. They do offer replaceable blades. So, I mean, it's just as simple as unscrewing it, pulling off the blades, putting on a new set once you pass through an animal. But you will find out that these are some of the toughest broadheads you ever shoot. We actually put every batch that before it hits the shelves, it has to go through what we call our brutality test. And that brutality test is each broadhead is shot through a steel drum 6 times, and it actually is a clean pass through both sides of the drum. So it actually goes through the metal 12 different times. And if that batch does not meet all of our QC and our quality control after passing through that barrel 6 times, we won't even use that batch of metal, and we won't let it hit the shelves. So it's very, very high attention to detail.
2 things that I know everybody's thinking, at least the way I always thought, was, well, how do they fly? Because we all switched to mechanicals because we got sick of tuning broadheads. Well, that's what turned me on to them, is because I screwed one onto my arrow, and I shot it, and it shot perfect with 0 tuning whatsoever. Now, granted, my arrows were flying straight, so I'm not saying you're gonna, get it to fly straight if your arrow's leaving the bow sideways. But they flew absolutely phenomenal, and I'm told that has a lot to do with the weight position, that it's so tight to the front. It's very similar to a field point. Exactly.
So what we say is it shoots just like a field point, and the reason is the design. It actually, what we have created with the design, our engineers created what is called blade over shaft technology. And if you look closely at that, you can see that the blades actually come all the way down over your insert and actually over part of the shaft. And we did that because it actually helps with your forward to center calculation, which, like you said, helps with arrow flight and helps with tuning. And it makes it one of the most easily tunable broadheads, fixed blade broadheads on the market.
They're phenomenal, but the other thing too is I'm a big cutting diameter guy, right?
Yeah.
I always shot a 1 3/4 inch 3-blade mechanical, a bunch of different brands, because I wanted the most massive hole in the world. But I'm telling you right now, I don't know what they've done with these things, but the hole you get through the internal organs, the soft tissue, are twice as big as that actual head. I don't know how you do it, man, but dude, you've helped me kill some slammer bucks with them, and I'll tell you, the blood trails are just incredible.
Like we were talking earlier, I mean, it's just how sharp these things really are. When they come out of the package, you have to be extremely careful, because I would dare to say you will not find a sharper broadhead on the market.
No, not out of the package, I don't think. If you did, you'd probably be in the surgical stainless steel market. But QAD is an American company. They've been around forever. Everybody's familiar with QAD rests. You guys are like the #1 rest company. But these broadheads, there's something about them. I've just become a complete addict. And now I always know when I have a good product and I'm doing a good job selling it, because all the guys that I hang around with start to shoot what I use because they see the results. And I had one of my good buddies, Brad Cooner, who I was telling you about earlier, who's a legendary whitetail hunter. And he was out on one of my blood trails with these. And at the end, he said, "What was the name of that broadhead again?" And I was like, "I got him. I knew it." But that's the type of results I've had with these, and that's why I'm so passionate about them. We're not even hooked up. I probably spent, I don't even know, close to a grand on broadheads on these heads probably in the last couple of years. But I'm just an avid customer. We love them, so hopefully we work something out. But